Hi Stage 3, welcome to Lesson 3 in our THRASS series, words that are related to our science unit about adaptations. Let's get started and have a look at your 6 words for Lesson 3. The words are organism, absorption, predator, carnivore, herbivore, omnivore. Looking at these words, what do you think might be common amongst them? They all contain or the letter combination, the grapheme combination OR in there somewhere. Now, let's just have a look at what we can hear in terms of this OR sound in each of these words. We can hear organism, we can hear absorption, I'm going to skip this one, we can hear carnivore, herbivore, omnivore. But this guy in the middle here, we hear predator. Predator. Because we're Australian and we have Australian accents, we say predator, not predator. Some British people might say predator, but we say predator. We can see on the THRASS chart here that OR as a grapheme choice is in my favourite box, the schwa box, making an sound. So it does say OR, which reminds us of the sound OR, but in some cases, particularly at the end of a word, like also in the word doctor, we can have the O and the R, making us think that it says OR, but traditionally as Australians, it will make this schwa sound that says But in all of our other examples, we hear this predominant OR sound. And on the THRASS chart, we can see that that is down here in our OR box. It's in its own OR box. We can also see all of our other options for the OR sound. You can see that there is a plain grapheme choice of an A. There is a U, AW, and OOR. Now, we recognise the OR sound, absorption, organism. But what about these words here? Carnivore, herbivore, omnivore. You notice that all those words, carnivore, herbivore, omnivore, besides the OR, actually all have an E on the end as well. And that E contributes to this overall OR sound. Now, if we look back on our THRASS chart, it's not one of our options. We have OR, but we don't have ORE. We've got double OR, but we don't have ORE. Like in the word more, that's another example, MORE, more, is another example of ORE. So what we've actually found is we have found a GCA, something that we could add to the THRASS chart, another way to create an OR sound, ORE, that's not listed. So if you've got a THRASS chart in your book, you might want to add it. You found a GCA, well done. Now, I wonder if going back to, if we go back to all of our OR sounds, I'm going to set you a little challenge. I want you to have a look at each of the different ways that you can make an OR sound here in this box. And I want you to see how many words you can come up with that contain each of these phonetic sounds, each of these phoneme sounds. So see if you can get at least one of each. All right, how did you go with your challenge list? I came up with a few words. I'm sure you have many, many more, but I came up with a few examples that have AU, like source and haunt. I had a couple of AW words, floor and jaw. I had some OOR words, door and paw, and I had a single grapheme A saying small, but I am sure you have many, many more wonderful examples. Take your giant list when you are finished and you can show your teacher. It'd be great to see who has the most unique words. All right, we are going to rule up our page as usual, 5 columns, word, thrash it out, syllables, show your syllables and count them, define each word and find synonyms, things that make sense to you that you could explain to another person. And as always, your extension task is writing your list words in IPA. Pause the video, get your chart going, and then come back to mark at the end. Off you go. Okay, hopefully you have your chart all together and finished, and you can get yourself a marking pencil and you can mark your work with this screen. Off you go marking. If you have any questions or not sure, you might want to double check against a good reputable website, THRASS, or you might want to check with your teacher. Off you go.